This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports, it's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dudes Who Bet Sports show. We're going to be betting horses today, Papa Dude. We've got a little bit of Belmont action that we're going to cover, and I'm sure we'll do questions at the end. How's it going? Been a week since we've been here. How you doing?
That's right. How you like this weather? Nice, isn't it?
I don't like it.
It's like walking outside into an oven.
Yeah. I love summer, but I don't like this.
No. This is awful.
Yeah.
It's a while ago we just got back. It was 102 according to the temperature thing in the car, and those things are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 102. No relief in sight for tomorrow. I think it's supposed to get a little bit better this weekend. So
yeah, it's going to cool down to the 80s, I think, on Saturday. So that'll feel like 70s after these last few days. So
feel like winter.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Just how dang hot it is. Yeah, Shotty lives in the same part of the country. Very hot. Doc Tang joined us. Hello, Doc. How are you doing today? I know how you're doing. I've talked to you. So
yeah. Remember, as Shotty says, remember my would you rather from a couple of weeks ago, winter or summer.
Yep.
And she and I chose winter, and you thought we were crazy. Well, today's the kind of weather I do not like in the summer.
Very much so. I agree with that. I would still take this over cold, though.
Okay.
Say that, but it's hot. Yeah, the dog's laying right here by me. She's been dying of heat today. So
yeah, it's bad.
Can't let her outside too much. So
no.
She's old and the heat bothers her. So
I can feel for her. I'm the same. I tell you, the heat just saps me. It just does. Unless I'm at the ocean or somewhere where I can jump in the swimming pool, then I'm all right. But yeah, it just saps me. I was riding around teaching drivers the other day, and that car and that sun is just beating through that windshield, and it just wears you out. It really is.
Yeah, I could see how that would be the case for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get to it. Hopefully we can be hot at Belmont Park coming up. So we're going to do the Belmont Park Pick 5, late Pick 5 on Saturday. I did it for a couple of reasons. One, we don't really have a ton of sports to talk about. Two, Magic Mike did Woodbine. So it's like, well, that leaves Belmont wide open for somebody to take. I'll go ahead and take that. So we're going to do the Belmont Park late Pick 5 on Saturday. Let's just kick it right off. I'll put the races up on the screen here where we're going to start. It's a Belmont, it is a late Pick 5 with 2 stakes races involved. So I think this is going to be kind of a fun Pick 5.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start it off. Race 6. It's the Dwyer Stakes, Grade 3 race, $200,000 purse for the 3-year-olds. Of course, last year this is where Charge It ran so huge. This year, field of 6. You got Fort Bragg as the favorite. Papa Dude, who did you like here to kick us off?
Well, I think of the sequence we're going to do here, this is one, you may disagree with me. There's only 6 horses. We got to go very light on this, don't you think?
Yeah, I think we can go short here.
Yeah, that's what I meant, short. Mm-hmm. You know how I feel about Fort Bragg. I don't really like the horse that well. I would like to single this horse in this one, and you could probably talk me into it.
Mm-hmm. But
the horse has only won once. Now, granted, the last 4 races have been 2 grade 2s or 3 grade 2s and 1 grade 1.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody else has been in that kind of competition in this race that's done anything. So we got to take that in consideration. Is this a huge drop for him, and this class drop is going to benefit him?
Mm-hmm.
Or are they just trying to get a win, or are they giving up on him? So in those stakes races, he's finished 3rd in a grade 2, losing by 7.5. He finished 5th in a grade 2, losing by 5.5. In the grade 1, the Florida Derby, 5th, losing by 9.
Mm-hmm.
And then in his most recent outing on Kentucky Derby Day, in the grade 2 Pat Day Mile, he finished 2nd by a neck. That's showing some improvement. That was a good race. So The other one I like is the 2, Saudi Crown. So, we're going short here on price and numbers as well. This horse is 2 for 2. Looks like an up-and-comer. Brad Cox, I believe, is the trainer. So those are the 2 I looked at. Did you see anything else you liked?
Yeah, by the way, I should have mentioned we're doing a combined ticket, so we're gonna go through all our thoughts, race 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we'll go back and trim the ticket down and have a combined ticket. So I just looked at this and said, well, for this race, we go 2-5. If we have to trim past the 2-5, we can do it at the end. But I think it's a 2-horse race. Saudi Crown, you mentioned the 2-horse for Brad Cox. This horse has been pretty good in 2 starts, but taking the big step up in class today. Yeah. I think Fort Bragg is the horse to beat. When they cut him back to a mile, he ran exceptionally well in that Pat Day mile. And, here we are in this spot. He was going to run in the Woody Stevens, had to scratch out of that race. I think he's the one to beat. He's been working there at Belmont. But I'm with you. I mean, as far as like how we're structured or how we're going to handicap it, and then we'll go back and structure it, it really seems like 2-5. I don't think we need to talk about much else in this race.
No, and this is one where we can take a shot at going short.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're going to use the 2-5 or just, well, I don't know. We'll come back and debate on what the single should be if we have to get there. How about that?
Yeah, I agree with you. But there are some hard ones as we go on through this that we're going to have to go deep.
Yeah. So, all right, we're going to write down 2-5 on my notes here. So that is for the 6th race. Let's go to the 7th race here at Belmont. Like I said, I think this is where the hard ones, I mean, they kind of start. Race 7, another race on the dirt, an allowance this time, another race at 1 mile, $95,000 purse here for this allowance. It's a field of 9. Yeah, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. What did you think in this one?
Well, I've got 4 that I'm looking at. Do you have more than 4?
I have 5 written down right now.
Okay. I'll just start with the one I like the best. I like the 4 the best.
Okay.
2 straight wins at this level and at this track.
Yep.
So that are 2 really good things for me. And it's he won at a mile, and then came back at a mile and a 16th and won. Now he's back to the mile. Daddy Knows is his name. That's the one I think we definitely have to put on the ticket for sure. Mm-hmm. And if I was picking a winner at 4-1, that's the one I would pick. I also like the 3 a little bit. Brew Pub. Last 3 races have been pretty good. The second, first, and the second. So I don't think we can hold that one off. Probably could be talked out of it, but I kind of like him. I don't like the favorite as well.
Okay.
Bad to the Bones. Last 2 races haven't been bad. Both allowances, both at Churchill. 1 at a mile, 1 at 7.5 furlongs. Dead heated for 2nd. 3rd. Almost won that, though. Very close. So probably got to put him on there. And for a price, I went with the 8, Winter's Lion. Probably could be talked off that one. But I kind of liked his last race, finished 2nd. Looks like he's running decent. Tried him on the turf. Didn't work out too well. So back to the dirt, finishing 2nd at a mile. And this is a mile too. So the 4 I have are the 1, the 3, the 4, and the 8.
Well, those are the 4 I've got as well. I kind of like the 8 quite a bit. So I think the 8's going to have to be on the ticket. Winner's Lion. It looks like Doc likes Winner's Lion as well. You said it. You take off the turf races, which they tried it 3 times. He never was great. Wow. He looks pretty darn good to me. 2nd by a head last time out this level here at Belmont. Broke the maiden at Belmont Park. I think that's interesting as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like this horse quite a bit. And like Rob said, you got a Japanese bred and an Okie bred in the same race. So the 8 Winner's Lion and Okie bred as well.
And don't you think that's fascinating that he's an Okie bred but has never run in Oklahoma?
Yeah, I mean, they obviously they've got bigger ambitions for this guy.
They do.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting. I don't really know why that is. I think just, sometimes the ownership group, they don't want to, even though they're an Okie bred, they run here. So, or Churchill.
That's true.
So.
And the 3 races on the turf, I think, were interesting. They were all stakes races. They were minor stakes races.
Mm-hmm.
So they tried him on turf in 3 stakes races. I think that's a little interesting as well. So kind of a horse maybe they haven't quite figured out what to do with him, but now they're back to where he's run the best.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think they tried, turf. It didn't work. Now they're just kind of, okay, we're going to go back to what he can do. So yeah. I like the 8 quite a bit. I like the 1 too. I think it's a consistent horse since getting over to Mott. 2 races in a row, looked pretty good. Stretched out last time. I thought improved. I think the horse is going to be tough here as well. Daddy Knows, another horse, like I said, had won 2 in a row, like him. The 3, I had the 3 written down as well. I also wrote down the 7. I thought that horse was pretty interesting in this spot. Baris, this horse, coming out of State Bred Company, coming out of a stakes last time out, but I think back to a mile, he's interesting. I put him on here as the initial kind of ticket before we kind of cut it back. Okay. What do you think of the 7?
Well, I didn't look at him till you just now mentioned it, so I'm kind of glancing at him now. Has been running in much better than this. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think, you could talk me into that. He's running in a lot of really good races in his career. So
I think he's decent.
Yep.
I put him on there. Like I said, I know this is a tough one. So, like Shoddy likes the 6 and the 8. 6 isn't one we talked about, but that's Linda Rice, who's been winning like crazy. He's first off the claim for Linda, moving up in class. I mean, you could talk me into the 6 on that off the claim, but don't have it written down as of now. I'm going to go ahead. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and put it on my scratch paper here.
Okay.
So we'll come back because that's going to be one we're going to have to narrow since I've got 6 horses.
The 6, and I see why Shoddy likes the horse, hasn't run in as many quality races, I think, as these others.
Well, I think the key to the 6 is, do you think the Linda Rice off the claim is going to move the horse up?
Yeah, maybe.
The horse was with John Sheriff's early, and then with Bill Mott. So, look, I mean, she's been moving them up. So it's very possible that she could move this horse up. But, you're right. I mean, if the horse doesn't improve, I don't think the 6 can win. So, but like I said, she's been doing that. So we'll see. All right, let's go to the 8th race here. And like I said, we're going to come back and narrow all this down. We're not just flying.
I'm writing this one down too. All right, I got it.
Okay, field of 12 here. This is now we're going to go to the turf. Starter allowance horses here going a mile and a 16th. Field of 12, we got 2 main track only. So hopefully we don't have to mess with those as we're on the turf. Like I said, field of 12, big group here. The favorite is debatable who it's actually going to end up being. The 2 is the morning line favorite. All right, who do you like in this one?
Well, I think for me, this was the hardest.
This is tough. Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't like anything, to be honest with you. I wrote down the 2, but hasn't. I can't see that it's done a whole lot. Our races this year in an allowance finished 4th, losing by 5. Finished 3rd, losing by 13. That's not a very good 3rd. Finished 2nd in an allowance, losing by 9. And then in this class, starter allowance, 65,000, did finish 2nd, losing by a head last time out at Belmont on May 11th. So I think going by that, kind of look at it probably because maybe this is where the horse belongs. And it was at this distance. So I've got him on there. The 5, I have forwardly Chad Brown, trainer. One of the reasons I've got it on there. Hasn't ran, though, since December of last year. I don't know if that means much. So it's coming off a long layoff. It ran okay last year. Not great. But this is a race that there's not a lot of great horses in. So Chad Brown on turf, horse isn't any worse than anything else that I see. At 5-1, I've got him on there. So, I mean, but I can be talked off of any of these. The 9 I have, Broken Spur. Just broke his maiden though the other day, May 27th, in a claiming race, $75,000 claimer. Was pretty impressive. Has ran well. Finally broke the maiden. So it's just, how much faith do you want to have in a horse that just broke its maiden, a $75,000 maiden claimer? That's always sketchy. And then my longer price is the 12, Kingfish Stevens. Has been running decent. Again, the only win was a lowly $25,000 maiden claimer. That's a red flag. But then came back in a $55,000 starter, finished third. Another $55,000 starter, finished second. And then was in a stakes last time out at Pimlico and finished fourth in a stakes race. So I don't really like any of them. I hope maybe you have some more insight in this one, but I wrote down 2, 5, 9, 12.
Yeah, we're similar again, which is kind of good to see based on how crazy this race might be. I really like the 9. I know it's coming off of just a maiden claiming win last time out, and I know facing winners for the first time can be difficult, but I really like this 9. I think this is a nice, or not a nice horse for this level, I should say. I like horses at kind of these lower levels that can get out in front. That's what this one can do. So I think the 9 could kind of take this field gate to wire. Pretty interested in the 9. I also, and Doc mentioned this horse as well, I kind of like the 11. I think the 11 at 12-1 makes a ton of sense here. So I wrote down the 11. This horse came within 2 lengths of winning last time out at this level. I think the horse gets a little cut back in distance, back to where he won at the 30K level, 3 races back on the turf. I don't know. I think at 12-1, the horse is a little overpriced. I think this is one you could work on the ticket here. So I've got the 11 wrote down as well. That's kind of the different one. No argument on the 12. The 2 Timbuktu, it certainly feels like one we need to use. I mean, Dutrow has the horse now, got second only by a head last time out in a very similar race. I think he'll run pretty well. So I have 2, 5, 9, 11, 12 wrote down.
Okay.
Like I said, we're going to have to cut it down, but I think that's the good start there.
Okay.
For the ticket. So any thoughts before we go on to the next one?
No, I think we're pretty much in agreement on them, and then we'll just have to start whittling it down a little bit as we go through this.
Yep, I'm with you. All right. I think this is the critical race right here. I think we got to be right in this race.
All right.
I think we're going to have to go short in this race.
I do too.
The second to last leg here, the John Nerud Stakes, 7 furlongs, $250,000 purse. This is a grade 2 race. Field of 7, we're back on the dirt. Like I said, 7 furlongs. I think that's a big key here. All right, let's hear it. Where are you going? This is a good one. The other stakes felt like a 2-horse race. This doesn't really feel like a 2-horse race. Yeah, I
agree with you. This is a toughie because they're similar. They really are. I've got Candyman Rocket number 1, definitely. It's won 4 out of the last 5. Only one of them at 7 furlongs. The others have been at 6, but it does have a win at 7 furlongs. Coming off a win, won the grade 3 Run Happy at Belmont on May 13th by a length and a half. That's impressive. Don't know what happened at Oaklawn on the 15th of April in the Count Fleet when he lost by 14 lengths and finished 10th. I think you just throw that one out.
I do too.
Yeah, I just think something went wrong. Didn't like track, whatever, got a bad start, whatever it was. But other than that, been pretty flawless. So I think you're going to have a hard time talking me out of putting him on the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
I've always liked the 3 Wayburn. This horse always brings it. He's scary to leave off. He doesn't win a lot, so that's something to look at. He's ran pretty good this year. Second in allowance, won 100K stakes at Gulfstream, and then finished third in the Grade 3 Westchester at Belmont on May 5th. So he's one that's a consistent horse. Then you got the 5, Little Vic, another one that's a pretty good horse. Been running really well. Didn't run real well in a Grade 1. The Carter at Aqueduct finished 6th, but up before that, he had finished either first or second in 5 straight races, and all of them stakes except one. So, I don't know how you leave him off. I mean, you can talk me out of it. And I've always liked the 6, Sheriff Bianco. Another one, been running really well. This is a hard race to narrow it down because you can make a case for, there's 3 Technique up there. There's Twisted Ride. This is a great race. And you're just going to have to decide which one you like the best.
I think a big part of this race is going to be the pace. It looks pretty fast up top to me. When you look at Candyman Rocket, Twisted Ride, Little Vic, I think they're all going to be right up there on the lead. And I think that sets it up for a horse like the 6, Sheriff Bianco, and a horse like the 3, Wayburn. Wayburn is really interesting to me, running first time for Todd Pletcher. Getting back to 7 furlongs, I think that's definitely his best distance. He's just a horse I've had a lot of luck with in the past. I've been able to get him right when he was going to run well. I think he's way too interesting not to use. I've got him as a definite use here. I've got 1, 3, and 6 wrote down.
3 and 6.
I am worried about the 5. I'm going to write down the 5 as well if we can use them. We'll debate on that.
This is a toughie because we are wanting to go short, yet you can make a case for so many of them.
You basically, we're trying to play a ticket that's, it's like a combined ticket if you split, so like around $100, and when you do that, you got to go short in 2 legs, or you got to single and then go semi-short in a leg, and that's where the problem kind of lies.
That's right.
First leg, you can certainly go short, and then after that, you're going to have to be right somewhere where you're going short.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go to the last leg. We've got 1, 3, 5, 6 written down. We'll go to the last leg, and then we'll come back, obviously, and start to trim this thing down. It's not an easy last leg either.
Oh, no.
We got Maiden claiming 40,000 New York breds on the turf here, going a mile and a 16th. Field of 10. You do have a bunch of also eligibles that, like I said, hopefully no scratches, and we're on the turf. We don't have to worry about those. But field of 10 here, and another race that I don't know. There's one horse I like quite a bit, and the rest of them I'm just not sure on.
No.
I only wrote down 2 horses in here, but I want to hear what you say, because there's other ones.
Thanks a lot. Because I don't like any of them really.
Well, that's the problem. Like, to me, if you go past a couple of these, you could almost go 6 or 7 of them, right? And that's why it's like, okay, here's 2 horses. I think they're just a bit better than the rest. Maybe we can get away with it. But who did you see? Who do you like?
Well, I wrote down 4, but I really only like 3.
Okay.
I wrote the 2.
Yep.
And the 6.
Yep.
And the 7.
Okay.
That's who I wrote.
All right. Talk about the 7 first.
Okay. Well, I'm looking here. Why did I write him down? I don't know why. I don't know. He's got a couple of seconds on there.
Yep.
At this level.
Yep.
He didn't run very good last time. That worries me a little bit because he did run good the time before that. So it was at Aqueduct. He finished second, losing only by a length, and then comes to Belmont and finishes 7th, losing by 5. So that's a issue. Now, is that the one you like the best?
No, I don't like the 7. That's why I
Okay.
said go for the 7 first.
Okay. Do you like the 6 the best?
I like the 2 the best.
Okay.
I think that, so we'll talk. I went 2-6-1. You got 2-6-7. So I wrote down 1-2-6.
I have 1 written down also. So
okay, the 2, to me, it's like, okay, we tried the turf last time out. We still didn't run very well, but we ran better. It was at this level, didn't get out of the gate at all. I think second time on the turf, the 2 is going to improve. So that's why I've got the 2 on there.
okay.
The 6, to me, your mission, the other one coming second off of a layoff. Last time out was second at this level, finished ahead of the 2. I just feel like they're the 2 better horses in the race.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you'd have said name your top 2, that would have been them. I would not have gone with the 7. So this is our dilemma. This is the type of race, as you said, if we go short, we got to get it right. And you know what I always say about these kind, although this isn't a really low maiden claimer, it's not that low.
Yeah.
But it is a race where I always say this, all 10 of them can win, all 10 of them can lose.
Yeah.
Not quite ready to go there because $40,000 is not that low a maiden claimer. I usually say at about 10,000 or 12.5 maidens.
Yeah.
So there are 2 logical choices, and I think it's the 2 and the 6. And this is just one I think if we're going to go short, those are the 2 we're going to have to use, and just not worry about a long shot or a price or anything like that on this one.
Yeah,
Contest, we can go short. We talk ourselves into going short on the 9, race 9.
Yeah. I think you're going to have to go short on one of them.
I do too.
It's like I said, the first one is a no-brainer to me where you go short. And then it just, I don't know, it gets a little bit dicey after that. Yeah. All right. I'm going to let me write this down here. I'm going to go with the 1, 2, 6, 7, and then we'll come back. So,
okay.
All right, let's go back now. We've kind of got who we like, kind of the horses we like for each race. In a perfect world, that's who we would play type of situation. But now let's go back, and it's not a perfect world, and let's narrow this thing down a little bit. Look, you got the Dwyer to kick us off. Do we single the 5 or do we go 2-5? That's the first decision we're going to have to make.
That's right. Well, any other time, and I could do it this time too. I would look at that 5 and I would say it's a no-brainer because of what the horse has run in compared to the 2. The 2 has not proven anything.
Right. The
5 has ran in grade 1s, grade 2s, and has ran respectfully. 5 as the trainer, Bradford, of course. If we're going to go short, or if we're going to single, it's got to be this one, my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think you singled the 2.
No, I don't either.
It's a situation for me. If the 5 gets back to that Pat Day mile effort, the 5's going to win the race.
I agree. I always hate to single the first leg because if you miss it, you've spent all that time doing these others for absolutely nothing.
All right. Let's leave it at 2-5. Let's go. Let's come back to it. And let's see if we can narrow down some of these other ones. So if you go to the next leg here, race 7, we wrote down 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. We're obviously going to have to cut. Well, not obviously, but most likely we're going to have to cut a few of these. Like I said, 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 is who we've got wrote down.
Yep. To me, this is the hardest one to cut.
I agree.
So let's think about this. If we single the 5, we could keep all 6 of these. Maybe.
I don't know if we could keep all 6. We could.
Okay, well, let's look. If we single that 5 and it's 30, 420. Yeah, we're going to have to cut somewhere. I don't. You like that one's pretty consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we can cut that 1, 3, or 4. That's the thing. I just.
I don't think you can cut the 8 either.
Okay. I like the 7 as well. After you pointed it out, I would cut the 6 first.
We could cut the 6. That's one that's going to have a very big improvement in here. I'm going to take the 6 out.
Okay, that's the logical choice.
Okay. So that leaves us 1, 3, 4, 7, 8. Let's go to the next. By the way, this is what we do when we go to the track together. This is how we sit down and do it. That's why we're doing the show kind of like this. It's kind of fun if you go with a friend to kind of do something like this. So,
and we also split the ticket.
Correct. Yeah. So let's go to the 8th race. 2, 5, 9, 11, 12 is who we've got here.
Okay.
Maybe I'm dumb. I think this is a little easier of a race than the one before.
Okay.
Gosh,
you got to go back on that now.
To me, you either cut the 11 or the 12. I like both of them.
I do too. Do you cut Chad Brown horse in a turf race?
No, I don't think so. I like the 9 going gate to wire.
I do too. So that leaves us the 2 who hasn't won in a long time and has only been running okay. To me, that's the logical one to cut. But
yeah, let's leave all 5 of them for now.
Okay.
I have trouble in that one. I have trouble. All right, let's go. We're doing real good. I think we've cut 1 horse so far.
Yeah.
All right. To me,
say this is a pretty hard pick 5.
This is a hard pick 5. I don't think it's impossible though.
Okay.
I think it can be hit. I think the structure is harder than the handicapping. Is my opinion on this.
All
Meaning it's hard. It's going to be harder to get it right where you go short and where you don't than having the horses.
Okay.
We had the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 6 in this one.
Ooh. I want to go short, but man,
I could be talked into dropping the 5.
The 5 is Little Bill. If he comes back and beats your ass, you're going to be so pissed.
I know. I've never liked him that well. I don't think he's good enough to beat these kind. That's where I'm at with him.
So you I believe you have 3. No, you have 2 of these. The 1 and the 5 are going to go out in front, right?
Well, the 1, the 4, and the 5.
But we don't have the 4. We don't have the 4 listed though.
Right. Yeah. Out to the front.
The ones we have listed, those are the 2 that are going to go out.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, to me, do you think that 3 is going to go get one of these? Is that 3 or that 6 going to catch one of these? Because if that's what we're going to gamble on here, we can eliminate the 1 and the 5. I don't think we can eliminate the 1. I will not let you eliminate the 1.
The thing with the 1 is he's shown he can sit off of it. I don't really think he needs to be on the lead.
Yeah, he's got to be on the ticket.
He's scary to me. The 5, I guess the 5's kind of set off of it too, to be honest. I mean,
we can't play them all.
No, I was 1, 3, 6. I just
you're going to throw that 5 out.
That's what I originally had.
All right. I've always liked the 6. I've loved the way the 3. I know the 3's going to run good.
Yeah.
He doesn't win a lot.
Well,
I think it's going to be a hell of a race.
It is. And I think if you're back in the 3, your thought process, hope, however you want to phrase it is, he's going to get better with Pletcher.
Yeah.
And he's very good at 7 furlongs. So at least that was my thoughts. So I think, honestly, it's 1, 3. And I think the 6, if I was going to cut another one, it'd be the 6.
Let's look at that 6 again. Okay. Let's see what he's done. All right. This is his races this year.
Mm-hmm. By the way, before you start, New York bred, going against Open Company, did beat Open Company 3 back in an allowance, but go ahead.
Yeah, but this isn't an allowance. This is a grade 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So this year he finished second in an allowance, losing by half length. Third, losing by 1 1/4 lengths in an allowance. Second in an allowance, he won an allowance. Finished second in 100K stakes, and third, and this was a New York stakes, New York bred.
Mm-hmm.
He finished third in a 200K. I think you leave him off.
I do too. I think you take a shot right here with the 1 and the 3. From a budget standpoint,
yes.
Like I said, we're trying to play a ticket in the $100 range. I think if you got a bigger budget, you add a horse like that, but I think for what we're trying to do, I think you leave him off.
I do too.
Okay.
I don't think he's proven enough.
Yeah, I question that he's classy enough.
That's what I mean.
Well, yeah, okay. So you said we're saying the same thing, just different.
Yeah, he's not proven enough. He's not.
Yep.
I'm going back through here. He's never won a big race, a big stakes race.
No.
He never has.
Mm-mm.
Whereas Wayburn, here's a grade 3, here's a grade 2. He didn't win, but he's been in them.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a grade 2, a grade 1. He ran in the Jim Dandy. He's been in bigger races.
Yeah, for sure.
He's not won a bigger race, but
it feels like to me the 1 is the class,
no doubt,
and the 3 is the one that could improve. And when the 3 runs his best race, can challenge the 1.
You know what though? When you look at Candyman Rocket, he's flunked every test in a big race.
Well, now yes and no. So the Count Fleet, yes, but that was a disaster, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
Since he's come back from this recent layoff, 3 out of his 4 races have been really good, including last time out. I thought he was
grade
really good.
Grade 3 is his best win. The last race is his best win.
Yeah, and that's the same kind of thing we got here. Now it's an extra furlong, so that's a questionable thing too. So, and Nick Feldman's here. He likes the 2 a little bit. A 3 technique you mentioned, but we don't have listed. Yeah. And yeah, he was a neck behind Cody's Wish at a mile last year at Churchill. So
yeah. Well, yeah. I think you got to decide between the 5 and the 1. Which one's going to win that? Who's going to outlast the other one?
Mm-hmm.
If they get in a duel.
Mm-hmm.
Little Vic, his best win is a grade 3 as well. So here's what we got to go short somewhere. We have to.
Yeah.
Unless we decide to just go short in the next race.
Well, so here's what we have. Right now, we have not made it official. We're singling yet in that first leg. So we are 2-5 in the first leg, 1, 3, 4, 7, 8, leg 2, 2, 5, 9, 11, 12, leg 3, 1, 3, leg 4, and then 1, 2, 6, 7 in leg 5. That's a $200 ticket. Obviously, we're going to trim it down. But one way we could trim this thing down is just single the 5, and we have a $100 ticket right there. So I think the question you got to ask yourself now, do we single the 5, Fort Bragg in the first leg, and then we just use the 4 horses we've got in the last, and we're good? Okay. Or do you keep that? Do you keep Saudi Prince on there? Or what's his name? Saudi Crown. What is his name? Saudi Crown. Do you keep him on there and try to get a little bit shorter here in the last leg?
Yeah. Or we could get short in the last leg and add another one in the 9th.
To do that, we're probably going to have to single that 5, though, in the first leg.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's say we added Little Vic or some other horse in the 9th race, and we singled the 6th. So that's 5, 25, 75, and we're going only 2 in race 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's 150.
Yeah,
divided by 2.
Yeah.
But
so that's an option for sure. No, it is. No, I didn't mean
that. By
that.
the way, you have answered that question. You don't like that one, so that's okay. You would rather go deep in that 10th race, deeper in the 10th race, and then shorter in the 9th.
I think part of my problem is
okay,
and this is I have been knocked out of the last leg of these things
because you went short
in the last 2 months.
Yeah,
so many times. It's incredible. But with that being said, it's not because I've went short. It's just because I always get knocked out of the last leg. I've been 4 deep and got knocked out. So I'm not against it. To me, the logical horses are the 1, 2, 6 in the last.
Leave out the 7.
Yeah, I don't like the 7 very well.
Well, get him off. Okay, so that would make it. Okay, so let's add a horse in the 9th.
You want to add Little Vic?
Not well. I can be talked off of. Let's see what we got then.
Mm-hmm.
We got 25, 75 times 3. So it'd be a little over $200 ticket, right? That's single in the 5.
If you single the 5, hold on. Sorry, I didn't do that right. Just a second. 5, 5, 3.
It's like 225.
Well, you played 50 cents. That'd be 112.50.
Right.
I don't hate that.
Okay, let's go back and look at this 9 again. This is exactly what we do, folks.
Yeah.
It's not even funny. I mean, it's not even close.
It probably doesn't make for like the greatest like radio, TV or TV show, YouTube show as far as the smoothness, but this is like if him and I were sitting at the table doing this the night before we're going to go to the track. So
yeah,
you get a little bit of that on it as well.
Well, it all comes down to this.
Okay.
Who do you want to go with 2 horses in the 9th race or 4 horses in the 10th? That's what it comes down to. Are you pretty confident that Little Vic's not going to win? Do you want to take a flyer and go with 4 horses in the 10th race and you got October Bliss as your 4th horse, a horse that could win?
Mm-hmm.
Logic says, and again, horse racing has no logic.
I don't like the 7 in the last. Famous last words. I just don't. I think you can go 1, 2, and 6 in the last and be fine.
Okay. Logic says you would go deeper in a $40,000 claimer than a stakes race, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But this doesn't look like too deep a $40,000 claimer field. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. It looks like a couple of fairly obvious betting horses in the 2 and the 6.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to protect yourself a little bit too. I'm not comfortable going just 3 deep or just 2 deep in the 10th.
Okay. Well,
now don't let me. I mean, talking to the expert and then comparing them with me. I mean,
I think if you go Fort Bragg single in the first by 5 by 5 by 3 by 3, that's 112.50.
Okay. And then the other thing,
that's our best option.
Okay. The other thing is, do we want to maybe throw out another one in that 7th and 8th, or do you want to stay with 5 in each one?
You know, I feel like, especially as we've talked it out. Now, again, whether the opinion's right or wrong, that's whatever, right? But I feel like, as we've really talked this out, our strong opinions, first leg, obviously, and last 2 legs. And I think, you know, you list out 5 horses in those other 2 legs, and it's like, I don't know who to cut. Yeah. I shouldn't cut any of them, you know?
Well, that's not an overly priced ticket for a pick 5.
No, and like I said, it's a split ticket.
Yeah.
So we're going halves on it. So I think it makes sense. I think that's the best. I think it's the best structure. It still has potential for some nice payouts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good.
And the thing is, too, if we miss the first leg, we don't have to watch the rest of them.
That's right. Well, I'll be watching the rest of them. Yeah, sort of.
Not me. I'll be pissed. I'm a sore loser.
Well, yeah, you won't have to, but I'll be watching it.
No.
All right. I'm gonna put it up on the screen now.
I'll be so mad.
All right, there it is. So I will leave that up on the screen now. So that's what we came up with. Combined pick 5 ticket here. We're going to single the 5 Fort Bragg in the first leg here. Debated it. I think everybody would feel a lot more safe if you went 2-5, but you just can't do that. You got to take a stand. You either got to single the 2 or single the 5. We chose the 5. So Fort Bragg is a single. 1, 3, 4, 7, 8 in leg 2, 2, 5, 9, 11, 12, leg 3, 1, 3, and 5, leg 4, 1, 2, and 6, leg 5, $112.50 ticket for the late pick 5 at Belmont. Are you completely satisfied with that?
Sure.
No, don't act so confident.
No, I didn't. No, I mean, it's a very tough sequence.
Yeah.
Because to me, that 9th race is tough.
Yeah.
And there's, you only got 7 horses in the field. So you think, okay, we can go real short here, but I can see an upset coming out of that because those horses are pretty good. They're all decent. Mm-hmm. To me, that's the hardest part of this. The 5 makes sense to single because that horse has raced far better than that 2 has.
Right. Yep.
So if the 5 doesn't win, I'm not going to sit here and kick myself because logic says that's the one you pick. And you got to single.
Well, you have in a race like that, you just cannot play them both. You can't.
I don't think so either.
So you just have to make a decision. Like I said, if your opinion or your decision is wrong, well, that's whatever. But structurally sound, you can't play them both. And look, you need the coverage in the other legs.
Yes, that's the deal. It's a logical winner, that 5 is.
Right. Yep.
Much more logical than anything else you can single on this pick 5.
Yep.
And I think on most pick 5s, unless you're loaded, unless you're rich, you got to try to single something. Right?
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, you do.
No, I agree.
You're going to lose your ass every time. I mean, you can't bet a whole bunch of money on this unless you got a whole bunch of money.
There are situations where you can go, you can go like 2 horses in 2 races and then try to spread it a little bit in the next. Yeah. But to me, your other option is really to try to press in the last leg or in the second to last leg, a much tougher race than the Fort Bragg race. But you can make a strong opinion. Hey, Candyman Rocket's just going to outclass him. Hey, the 3's really going to improve with Pletcher. Even Doc's horse, Sheriff Bianco. Hey, the pace is going to set up and that horse is going to roll. Like there are angles, right?
Sure.
And that's just it. Like Doc said, he said sometimes he has a single that's 6 or 8 to 1. Well, if I'm not saying Doc, you're going to single Sheriff Bianco, but if you wanted to get aggressive with that horse, 10 to 1, that's a single. You've got a strong opinion on it.
Sure.
Do it. Yeah. I just think in our situation, it just kind of feels like the 5 is the strong opinion that we have. I think so. Yeah.
Doc, do you like the 5?
He loves it. He says he's betting 1,000 on. No, I have no idea. What did Doc say? I think he may. I don't know that he gave us an opinion on that one. He did.
Well, he's listening. I just asked him. So
all right. All right. All right. Yeah. Let us know, Doc, if you like the 5 there. Whoops. John likes the 2. So he's going to try to press the 2. And you know what?
Fine.
That's just fine.
We're not.
John, I can't sit here and argue with it because I think you're making sense.
We're not horse racing Twitter. where we say, John, you are an idiot. What kind of ticket is that?
Yeah, no.
No. We'll never say that.
Never. So yeah, Doc agrees with that as well.
By the way, Larry Ravelli made a statement that he thought his horse, Two Phils, that's a tragic issue too, where he got hurt. A very I don't know. He just made a statement that the horse was starting to become a secretariat, and horse racing Twitter went crazy.
Oh God.
Ridiculous. The guy didn't mean anything by that. And yeah, here we go. Absolutely, Dr. Tang. Absolutely. He didn't mean a thing. And people just, what kind of an idiot is that? It's just, why would you get upset over that? He just lost the best horse he's ever going to have, probably.
Yeah. He's
heartbroken about it. And he just said it as just an innocent statement. And then you got all these so-called experts going, well, God, that horse is not secretariat. Really? Why don't you just say something obvious? I'm getting off there too, Aaron. I about had it.
Oh, you need to get off of it. You need to get off of it. And listen, hey, if you're on here right now and you enjoy Twitter, that's fine. I mean,
sure, but lighten up.
Well, no, I mean, even if you just get on there and you laugh at that kind of stuff, that's all.
Oh, right. I know.
I'm not like judging people for being on there at all.
No.
It's my life's a lot better with that.
Well, I mean, I understood exactly what he was saying.
The craziest thing about it, people, and I'll tell you this. I don't know how to word it, but everything is made a big deal on social media, right? Like this comment, and then people are mad, and people are. None of this is a big deal. Like literally none. No. Like guys will come, like Magic or Somich or Jared will say, "Gosh, did you hear about such?" And I was like, "Didn't hear about it. Didn't care about it. It's not that big a deal, guys." But it breeds. Yeah, everything is amplified for no reason. That's perfect. It's just like constant. Like just everybody getting upset,
Yeah, I just read that statement and I felt sorry for Larry Ravelli, which I felt sorry all along for Larry Ravelli, and everybody connected with this horse who looked like he was emerging into a potential star. Mm-hmm. And then this happens. It's tragic for the connections and everything that have been waiting their whole life for a horse like this.
I know.
And here's another thing. We're just assuming he was going to be a great horse. He only he won the Ohio Derby. That's not exactly fantastic. He looked great.
I was just getting ready to say this. Brian Bello had a no-hitter for the Red Sox through 7. He gave up a hit to lead off the 8th inning. So,
way to go, Rob. Way to go.
The no-hitter is done. By the way, perfect game last night.
Oh, my God.
The 24th perfect game in Major League Baseball history. I have the MLB package so I can watch any team, and I hadn't watched the Yankees and the A's because it was a blowout. But I got on my phone in the 7th inning. I thought, oh, shit, there's no hits. And so I watched the 8th. I'm like, oh, my God. And then I'm watching. I'm like, there hasn't been any errors. There hasn't been any walks. This guy's got a perfect game on the line, and so he gets the job done. Perfect game. Jermaine was the pitcher. This guy was almost out of the rotation. He was getting bombed, and he throws a perfect game. Unbelievable.
Well, I heard their pitching coach say that he thinks he might be becoming the next Nolan Ryan.
What?
I'm making a play on Larry Ravelli saying his horse was becoming the next secretary.
Oh, my goodness. That went right over my head. Very good job. What? What's going on?
See, I've still got a little bit of sharpness left in me.
You do, just a bit.
I belong on Twitter. I really do.
Yeah, that's why you haven't left it yet. So, infield hit gets it done here. Interesting enough, this is a 0-0 game.
It is.
Yes. So he's got to bear down here and get some out. He's almost to 100 pitches as well. They do have guys warming up in the pen. So this will be interesting to see. Okay, the no-hitter's gone, but can he get the win or at least, exit this game nothing. So
I'm sitting there and I'm pitching like that. I'm going in that dugout. I'm throwing bats around. I'm doing everything. So would you guys get out there and score a run?
well, the Marlins pitcher Luzardo, he was fantastic.
Oh, the Marlins are playing great. They're playing fantastic.
Yes, they are. There's a base hit again, and now they're going to have runners first and
third.
Oh
boy.
Nobody out. Top 8 here. Nardi's on the mound, and by the way, it's my Miami Marlins hat here that just came in today.
You got to be out of your mind.
Nardi's on the mound. I call him the Nard Dog. I don't think anybody else calls him that. But
now here's, folks. Here's what is so interesting. This guy wouldn't watch a baseball game.
No.
If you took a gun to his head.
No.
Now
back up though. I would when I was growing up, but not now.
But not now.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's betting these games every day, and he's on a roll, and he watches every baseball. He can tell you anything you want to know.
Yeah,
I think you're going to Cincinnati Reds game. Is that right?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Cincinnati Reds. Look at this.
Yeah.
The Reds.
Oh my God! Now he's buying
Reds.
This is this. This is I can't believe this.
It's meant to be. So we're driving home from New York when we stop by to go to the Reds game, Yeah. So the Reds are playing the Marlins.
Wow.
And these are my 2 favorite teams. I'm like,
now, let's be fair. They're his 2 favorite teams because he's getting them right every night.
Absolutely.
He doesn't care otherwise.
Now I kind of like Tampa Bay too.
How many do you have? Have you got some more?
I've only got one more.
What do you got?
Well, what would you guess? What would you
Arizona.
guess?
Diamondbacks.
That's right, the Diamondbacks.
Okay. Now, this is an easy answer to this question. Which 4 teams is he making the most money off of right at the moment? And it's those 4.
Well,
wait a minute.
Number 1 for the season, definitely.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Number 2 for the season, definitely. The Marlins.
Oh, this is crazy.
Honestly, I like to watch Tampa. Now I think you bet Tampa today, didn't you?
I did. I got it.
Yeah, that was a good pick. I like to watch Tampa. Their prices a lot of times where you can't bet them.
Right.
But gosh, I really like their team. I like their pitching.
I like their uniforms.
I
like their nickname.
I think it's a pretty hat, don't you?
Yeah.
That's a nice ball cap.
You know, Cincinnati's hat is classic. It's classy.
Yeah.
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 I kind of like the Diamondback myself, but
yeah, that's a cool mascot too. That's a good team.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, here's the difference between me and him.
Okay.
He sits there and he watches all of these games.
Correct. Yeah.
And I'm picking them every day too. I just kind of follow them on the ESPN deal, so I don't have to sit there and watch every pitch.
I do that some.
Okay.
Because I only have one or 2 screens going, so I'm really mad at the Diamondbacks, though.
So you picked them today?
Well, not only that, but I had last night they were plus 135, and I picked them, and they blew it in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
but
I'm not quite on them yet. I think they're good. They need another pitcher.
Yeah. One thing about it, you kind of, when you're betting baseball, you really, really need to realize that shit happens. Like you just can't.
You mean like Kansas City scored 2 today in the bottom of the 10th to beat the Guardians?
Yeah. You can't get mad about it. You really can't, because it's a high variant game, which makes it great to bet. Right.
Well, for us old dogs like me, adjusting to the fact that the starting pitcher only goes 6 innings nowadays.
Yeah, I know.
I've had to adjust and quit getting mad as a manager for taking them out. But as Rob said, so many blown saves. What happened? The Marlins score. This is what he likes to do, folks. He sits out on his deck, not tonight because it's too hot. But he sits out there and he's got his 4 hats.
Yeah.
And he just switches caps. And then Heather knows who's ahead by the cap he has on.
Now I just got these today.
Oh, okay.
I had them on order, so I just got them.
But I think if you're betting baseball now, and I'm really busy right now, I don't have a chance to really get into it when I'm betting, but got to check out the bullpens of these teams now.
Yeah. Because
the bullpen means so much.
Yeah.
In these games, because they bring them in the 7th, the 8th at the latest, and they got to hold those leads, and it's not easy to do. So,
even the listen, most of these pitchers go 5-6 innings. Now you do have your elite ones that can go longer, but most of them are going 5 or 6. So to me, starting pitching, it's still extremely important, but it's not like it used to be.
No,
like if you see a guy that's really good, but the other team has a guy who's serviceable, and you're like, well, I think they can get it to the 5th or 6th inning, and it's going to be close. Take that plus money team.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing I've learned, and get in there. Hey, and there's another hit. All right. So anyway, bases loaded, nobody out. So anyway, that's the thing I like. I don't have any off the top of my head, but a lot of times you can get a plus money team, and it's like your advantage is a starting pitcher. Well, they get to the 6th inning and the game's 1-1 and the pitcher's coming out. Well, all of a sudden it's a toss up game, but you have plus money on your team, And look, again, I really, if you're going to start betting baseball, you really just have to let it slide right off, right? Like last night when Arizona blows that game, you can't throw shit around and be mad. You just be like, it's baseball. It's baseball.
The problem about betting those late night games when they blow them, I have trouble going to sleep for a while. I'd rather lose an early game.
Yeah, like I did something stupid today. I backed the the Guardians at a short price.
That's a good bet, usually.
I usually don't do that, but I thought, that's just
the price was short.
And they are up 2-0. They blow it in the 8th. A guy stole home in the top of the 10th for the Guardians and got it. And I'm like, he stole home. This is amazing. And then they gave up 2 runs in the bottom of the 10th.
You were almost ready to buy a Cleveland Guardian hat.
If they would have closed that out, I would have got a Guardians hat. But instead, they blew it. So no. But again, you just have to let it slide. And you have to realize it's 162 games. There's going to be nights you go 0-4. That doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means the variance wasn't your way. You just have to go about that like that.
And see, Rob's found a niche he's doing now. No run first inning bets to pad his parlay a little bit.
Ooh.
And so he's nailing it on that. And Rob, if it was me, I would pick the wrong game. So but that's something that you've found. So
yeah. That Rob, that kind of reminds me much quicker bet, much easier of under goal and half first period hockey,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. So find your little stuff that you do and just hit it and go from there. My parlay's already off the table tonight, so I don't have to watch any baseball tonight.
What did you do tonight?
I had the Angels and I forget the other one. Here, let me look. I don't remember. Let's see. I actually had to work today, so I'm kind of in another world. I had the Angels got beat by the White Sox. I don't know why I picked the Angels. I don't ever get them right. That was so dumb. I had the Angels and the Mets. That was stupid too. So that was kind of a dumb parlay.
Well, the Mets are ahead 2-0.
Okay, because Scherzer's pitching, and he's pitching good.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I beat. Was it Verlander? Did they beat Verlander, the Brewers, or did they lose?
That might have been last night. No, I don't think they faced.
I think they may. Actually, I don't think they beat Verlander. I can't remember. I watched too many of them.
He's not pitching as well as
no
Scherzer is.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Verlander's not pitching very well.
No.
So you can go against
and
him.
I'm wondering, somebody posted on here just a minute that Wainwright got clobbered tonight.
Yep.
I'm just wondering how much longer the Cardinals are going to keep throwing him out there. I mean, the guy's a tremendous person. Yeah. And it's been a great face for the program, or the city and the team and everything else.
Yeah.
But there's a time when you've got to say, hey, we got to go another way.
Yep.
So.
Yep. It's sad. He gave up 6 runs in an inning and a half, inning and a third.
He got clobbered against the Cubs the other day over in London. The curveball just isn't breaking like it used to. It doesn't have that sharp break that has been his trademark throughout his career. But what a good role model, a good guy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Sure. So, yeah, I mean, 2 World Series. You can't take away what he did.
No.
It's time. He
good guy, too. Great guy. Good Blues fan also.
Yes, for sure. All right. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No, I don't have any final thoughts. Anything you want a quick question, or
do one quick question, then we'll get out.
Well, this one's going to be easy, I think.
Okay.
I got 2.
Okay.
Would you rather scuba dive or skydive?
Oh gosh.
Or if I put the answer neither, would you say that?
I would say that.
Well, there's no way I'm ever going to skydive.
Yeah, I think scuba dive would be the answer.
I could not skydive in a million years.
I don't have any interest in that. Skydive, Phil says.
Really?
Jason says scuba.
Skydive, listen, the only way I'd skydive is if the airplane was going to blow up.
Well, if you didn't have an option.
Well, I might take my chances. If we were over water where I would fall down in the water, I just don't think I could do it. I just don't.
I've got one. You guys tell me if this is normal, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Phil says he's scared of heights. He hates heights. I don't know. Scared, hates, whatever. Heights used to bother me none. Like, not at all. Didn't care. Whatever. Mm-hmm. I am terrified of heights now.
Really?
Why? Yes. Why is that?
Well, you've had some vertigo type problems, haven't you?
Yes. You think that's it? Just mentally, I think I'm scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I can go up in a building up high, it doesn't bother me.
Oh, it does me now.
Up in a stadium doesn't bother me if I'm on the top row.
Okay, weirdly enough, that doesn't bother me.
Well, I am having trouble as I get older of walking down steps at a height. Like if I'm on the top row of the bleachers, even in a basketball gym and a smaller gym, I struggle going down the steps. I get dizzy, and that kind of a height bothers me. Huh. Like when we go to the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, and we're on that top row.
Yeah,
I struggle going down those steps. I get dizzy. I don't know if that's it's not what you're talking about, but so when you're in an airplane, does it bother you?
No, that doesn't bother me.
Okay,
but say we're in a hotel and it's one of the like a high rise, not a high rise, but like a 30-story hotel.
So, yeah, that doesn't bother me.
And say I'm 18 stories
up. You can't look down?
Can't get near the window anymore.
Okay.
And if there's a balcony, I ain't going out on it.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting.
The last time we were in Vegas, that was we were up. We were at the Mandalay Bay. We were up a little over mid, and like Heather was like, "That's really cool." I was like, "I'll stay away from that."
Yeah. That's good. That's
Phil says he'd take a rocket into the atmosphere before a submarine ride. After what we just heard, I'm kind of with you on that one.
He also said, the ocean's scary or a lake where you would scuba dive. I agree with that. But if I had to choose, because I can swim really well, I have no fear of swimming, I would definitely scuba dive. I just don't think I could jump out of an airplane. I don't think I could.
See, I'm not scared of the ocean, but I'm scared of that part of the ocean where they take you to scuba dive, right?
Well, you're just afraid you're going to run into something probably.
You're out of your element.
I didn't say I wanted to do it. I said I could do it.
Okay.
I'd be more afraid to do it in the lake. The lake scares me.
That's weird. Why?
It's got all those trees and tree limbs and junk brush down in there where the ocean's just kind of coral. And I could swim. I don't know why, but I think I could do the ocean before. Maybe the ocean's clearer. Maybe. I don't know.
I've never seen a clear ocean before.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what I'm saying.
All right.
Scratch all of that. But I there's no way I could jump out of an airplane. I just could not. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
Which leads to another question. What?
Phil, well, as I say, read one more here. Phil says he's learned way too much about the ocean since the submarine accident. That's true. Yeah. Okay, you got one more?
Okay, it's kind of on the same lines here. Are you afraid to swim in a lake?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
No.
I don't like to swim in the lake.
I think that's a you thing. I don't know.
No, if it's a lake and there's a swim beach, where there's concrete where I put my feet, I'm okay. Or if I'm out in the middle of the lake and there's no bottom, it's real deep, I'm okay. But if I'm swimming around where I feel the bottom and there's rocks and that kind of stuff,
yeah, I'm not that way. No.
How about a creek?
Rules only. No, that's fine. I can swim.
You'll swim in a creek.
Yeah.
No. But the ocean doesn't bother me at all.
No, the ocean doesn't bother me either. Yeah.
Doesn't bother me at all.
Lake George. I've seen that. Never been in it. Never swam in it, but I've seen it. Yeah.
And I get bored in a pool, but obviously a pool's the best.
But going out into the ocean and swimming, that's fine.
Yeah,
I don't want to go way out in the middle and go down.
Right. No. And I've been bit by a crab, a jellyfish, stung by a jellyfish, stuff in the ocean. But when I'm getting ready to go in 5 or 6 weeks, it doesn't bother me at all.
See,
I've had a race swim right by me. That was pretty scary. I will admit that.
Yeah, I've never had any of that. So
yeah. Let me a lazy river at a theme park.
Me too. Those are the best.
That's pretty much heaven right there.
Yeah. Especially if it's like if it's 99 out like it is today. It's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. One more and we're out of here.
Hold on. Snap
that's right there.
Take your time off.
That is what I'm scared of the most are turtles. I am scared of turtles in the water. I'm not afraid of. I think I'm more afraid of a turtle in the water than a snake.
One of my buddies, he was a noodler. He liked to noodle. You know what that is, don't you?
No way I would do that.
So you go out the banks and
way in hell.
So you go to the banks of the lake, right? And if you don't know what noodling is, look this up. It's nuts. You gotta be out of your mind. But he was one tough bastard, and he is a big old. He's just a farm boy and a tough guy. Yeah. Anyway, so what you do is you go in those banks of the lake and you stick your hand
in the river too. It's like,
in the holes where these catfish are, and you pull
logs.
Yeah, logs and all kinds of shit. And you pull them. You try to pull out catfish, right?
You grab it with your hands.
Oh yeah, with hands. Yes, and so he'd get catfish that long, but he'd get bit by turtles all the time. And he'd grab it and say, oh, God, that was a snapper. It's like, good Lord, you're insane. They're
in water up to their neck, and they're grabbing these fish by the mouth and grabbing them out of these logs.
Yes.
And, of course, look at what most of these guys look like. they would kill you if they, most of them would slice you up with a knife. Some of them are really nice, but no, there's no way I would do that.
Like I said, it's this guy, he wasn't scared. He did not give a shit. He just went, said, we gotta get these catfish out of here. And he'd just go grab them.
There is no way I would do that.
You're like, this guy's insane. Anyway,
it's awful. Yeah.
How long did it take you to get in the ocean after you saw Jaws for the first time?
Didn't bother me a bit.
Okay. All right.
I knew that shark was fake.
Okay. All right.
There's no way you can have a shark that big.
Okay. All right.
I had another one I thought was really good, but time's getting us.
Well, go ahead. If it's not super long.
One cartoon character. What cartoon character would be your best friend? Listen, it took me a long time to find that one.
It's so dumb.
No, it's not. I know who my best friend would be.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Bugs Bunny. Wouldn't you like to have Bugs Bunny for your friend?
Yeah.
He'd always get you in trouble.
Yeah. That would be fun. I agree. Yeah. He's a good answer. Yeah.
Bugs Bunny. I think Bugs would keep you cracked up all the time.
I like Bugs.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
Roadrunner would be pretty cool too.
Shaggy. Scooby-Doo might be mine.
Yeah. Wile E. Coyote, Foghorn Leghorn. He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or Yosemite Sam.
Oh, good Lord. I liked Foghorn Leghorn.
I do too. He's cool. He really is. I like Bullwinkle, Rocky and Bullwinkle. He's so see, because you would be smarter than him. So he'd be a cool best friend because he's so dumb. Casper the Friendly Ghost. Oh, I don't know about that one, Doc.
I always liked you don't even know who this is. Chucky from Rugrats. I always thought he was
I know who Chucky is.
He was always funny. He was always worried about something.
By the way, for you noodling people that are interested, just Google it not Google it. Go on YouTube and just type in noodling videos and there'll be stuff on there.
Yep.
Barney Rubble. Yeah, Barney's pretty dumb, so he'd be a good best friend too.
What about Casper?
That one, I'm trying to get where you're going with that one, Doc. It'd be a best friend you can't see because he's a ghost.
I watched a movie called We Have a Ghost or something. I think it's We Have a Ghost. That's the name of it. Not bad.
Have you watched The Mick on Netflix yet?
I got ready to do it, but I know I have not done it yet.
I'm guaranteeing you're going to laugh your butt off.
It's on the list.
Anybody on here have seen The Mick?
The Mick is good.
Netflix. If you got kind of a offbeat sense of humor, I think you're going to like it.
What is the best show right now on television?
I never watched television, Phil. I couldn't tell you one show on a network.
The Mick.
I don't really watch TV. I'm not a good person to ask.
No, me
neither. I don't watch it much.
I watch TV, but not like shows. Yeah.
Do you watch regular TV? Or do you watch Netflix and streaming and that stuff?
I watch the MLB package.
That's not regular TV.
I watch.
We're talking NBC, CBS, ABC.
No, if I turn the TV on, I'm watching reruns of The Office.
Yep.
Or Parks and Rec.
Yep.
Or 2.5 Men.
Or MASH. I watch MASH some now.
Or MASH. Get out of here. Go, ball. Go. Yes, sir. 2-0. All right. No insurance
I like Porky the Pig too. He'd be pretty cool.
Puke. Porky the Pig.
The best should be your best friend.
I tell you what, The Office.
It's classic.
I tell you what, talk about sitting on the deck. I was out there and it was morning. There wasn't any baseball on. So I turned it on, and I knew it was going to get hot. That's why I was out there. I want to enjoy it until before it got for a few days. And I love The Office. It's my favorite, but Parks and Rec was on. It was so funny.
Some of those were.
Chris Pratt is so funny on that.
He's hilarious.
he came into the office. He goes, guys, did you know that the food you eat gets turned into energy? It was just so innocent. And I just died. And Heather came out. She's like, what are you doing? I told her, and she's like, that's not even funny. I said, you got to watch him do it. That's what was funny about it, you know? I don't know.
You're going to be really cool.
Like that. Yeah.
When you're watching it now, you're going to have a Cincinnati Reds cap on or Tampa Bay.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, we've got to get the Marlins home. They got their 3 outs away. We got to get the closer. Oh, I don't know if it's Puck or Pook or Puke or however you say his name, but he's coming in, the big wily man. So we'll see.
Good.
He looks like he'd be a good noodler. Like he kind of looks like my friend that used to noodle. So,
are we talking about Mr. Andrews?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr.
I can see him noodling, no doubt.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So, all right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. It was fun. Good times tonight.
Yep.
Hopefully this hits. And I think if it hits, we're the new Magic Mike show. That's
okay.
What I've been told. So, all right, guys, we're going to go.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. See you next week.
This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports. It's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports. Time to change your approach with Aaron Holderman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.